I'm Daniel Berlant in the Cal Fire Information Center. Did you know that it's embers from wildfires like this that result in most buildings being destroyed from wildfires? That's why we talk a lot about defensible space and home hardening. But oftentimes when people think about home hardening, they don't think that it can be done cheap or easily. But we have some items that are some low-cost, even some no-cost ways that you can improve your home's chance of surviving a wildfire. So let's go through some of those low-cost items. First, you want to block all spaces on the roof itself. Blocking those spaces between the roof covering and the sheathing is very important. Often those are referred to as bird stops. That prevents embers from getting underneath the tiling material, whatever that roofing material is itself, and getting into the covering that is on the roof construction. So blocking the roofs is an easy one. Now, roofing is by far the most effective retrofit that you can do on your home, but it is costly. So if you are going to replace your roof, make sure you're using a fire-resistant Class A roof material, but that can be expensive. Just simply blocking those holes is a low-cost way of doing it. Also, filling any gaps around the roof itself, caulking, plugging those gaps, anything that's greater than 1/16 of an inch, specifically around exposed rafters, is going to be a very important and very easy step to do. If you have rain gutters, make sure that you install non-combustible and corrosion-resistant metal gutter covers. That prevents accumulation of leaves and other debris that the embers can find and ignite that vegetation on fire, spreading to the home itself. On your chimney, cover your chimney and even your stovepipe outlets with non-combustible, corrosion-resistant metal mesh material. Now on the chimney, these are often referred to as spark arresters. They hold the sparks from your fireplace that you may have in the winter months. They hold them inside, but by making sure that it's a 3/8 inch to a 1/2 inch opening, it also is going to ensure that embers aren't able to get inside the chimney as well. Your vents are important ones. Cover all vent openings with at least a 1/16 inch to 1/8 inch non-combustible, corrosion-resistant metal mesh screens. So vents throughout the home, they could even be attic vents. Make sure you have that metal screening that you go and get. And if you already have one in your home and it's, let's say, a larger diameter, you can simply buy a smaller one, place it over the existing one. So it still allows that airflow to occur, but it makes the opening much smaller, preventing those embers from getting inside the attic or inside the home itself. The siding of your home. You want to inspect the exterior siding for any dry rot, gaps, cracks, or even warping. Caulk those or even plug those. Anything that's greater than a 1/16 inch. Those sidings, you want to make sure that you've replaced any damaged boards, for example, including those especially that have dry rot. So again, the siding, you're making sure any cracks are filled in, replacing any boards that are greater than 1/16 of an inch. In the garage, around the garage door itself, install a weather stripping in the gap. If you have a gap that's greater than 1/16 of an inch, you want to close that gap by putting in a weather stripping. That stripping must be compliant, though, with UL Standard 10C. So that is an easy way around the garage to, again, keep those embers from getting inside the garage itself. So those are some of the items on a low-cost list that you can do. But here's a couple things you can do for no cost. First, you want to make sure that you are cleaning your gutters, removing any leaves, pine needles, any debris. Again, all that is vegetation that can burn if those embers land on them. Clear your decks of any flammable material. Sweep up or blow off any pine needles, leaves that may be on the deck itself. Away from windows, you want to remove vegetation. We always recommend that you don't plant plants right up against the window itself, because if that plant catches on fire, the radiant heat from that plant on fire could actually break the glass. Why we recommend double pane windows. Those are a little more costly, so if you don't have double pane windows, at least move vegetation away from the window. If you can, clean it up. If it's leaves, branches, things like that, that is an easy, no-cost way to really help enhance your home hardening. Another item, remove any wood mulch that's directly from your home. A lot of times people will put down bark as really a good way for drought-tolerant landscaping. Makes your yard look nice. However, you don't want to have any of that mulch or bark right up against the home. We ask that you keep it at least 5 feet away from the home itself so that if that bark catches on fire, that mulch catches on fire, there's some separation between the home and the bark. And then one last no-cost item, simply remove dead or dying vegetation. This is defensible space. Just by removing that dead material will prevent the fire from those embers itself could ignite the vegetation on fire, spreading it to the home itself. So the good defensible space, at least 30 feet of any dead or dying vegetation removed, is a no-cost way of doing it. So for all these home hardening items, you can get right off our website, readyforwildfire.org. Just go to Prepare for Wildfire, Get Set, Hardening Your Home. You can watch a short video that really gives you a very simple understanding of embers being carried by the wind, and they land on your home, igniting your home on fire. So down below we have items, the roof, vents, eaves, windows, walls, etc. What you can do to harden your home. If you're looking for those low-cost items, right at the top though, here are those low-cost retrofit items. 10 low-cost ways that you can improve the hardening of your home. And we even have 5 bonus no-cost items that really will enhance the effects of a hardened home. Again, all that available on our website, readyforwildfire.org. So if you're looking for a project this weekend to help ensure you're ready for wildfire, you can take a look at this low-cost retrofit list and take some steps to make sure your home is hardened from wildfires.